Way down in the earth where it's quiet under the weeds, Mr. Worm reads!
Are we on? Oh, hello, and welcome to Mr. Worm Reads. I am your host, Mr. Worm. My guest today is Jane Kurtz. She is an award winning author who has written over 40 books, including the picture book Clara the Triumphant Rhinoceros and the novel Oh, Give Me a Home. Let's connect with Jane now.
Hi, Mr. Worm. I'm so happy to meet you and hear that you like books. Can you hear me okay?
Yes, I can hear and see you. And Jane, I don't just like books, I love them. I'm so excited to talk with you.
All right, let's get going then.
So, where are you coming to us from today?
Today I'm coming to you from Portland, Oregon, which is where I live.
Portland. Hmm, Let's see. Let's pull up the map. Oh, there it is. Portland, Oregon. Have you always lived in Portland?
No, I haven't always lived in Portland. I was born here, but when I was only 2 years old, my mom and dad took our family all the way to Ethiopia on the continent of Africa. In fact, my newest book is about what it was like to grow up in Ethiopia and what it was like to come and visit America for the very first time. It was hard. I wasn't sure where I belonged. I wasn't sure how to answer the question, where are you from? So one of the reasons that I like to write books is because it helps me explain some of the things that were hard to talk about when I was a kid.
I'm so happy you wrote a book about your experience so we can read more about your adventure. Now that you're living in the United States of America, do you miss Ethiopia?
Well, one of the things that I love to do is to visit Ethiopia and to learn more about Ethiopia. Now I have Ethiopian American grandkids, and actually, my grandson helped me write this book that is in 2 different languages. So I've had the fun now of learning about Ethiopia and sharing Ethiopia with lots of people.
Well, you sure have inspired me to learn more about Ethiopia and the continent of Africa. So, when you were a little girl living there, did you enjoy writing? And have you always wanted to be an author?
I think I liked to write when I was a little girl, and I think that because I have my letters from when I was a girl. And I used to write letters to my grandparents in America, so I think I liked writing, but I know I liked reading. I used to read and read and read. It was my favorite thing to do, and it's still my favorite thing to do.
Jane, what's your favorite part about being an author?
Well, one thing I like about being a writer is that you get to learn so many things. A lot of my books these days are nonfiction. This is an example of a book that I wrote that's nonfiction, and kids like to learn about what do they do with all that poo. But you know what? I like to learn about it too. I got interested in poo because of worms. I was looking at my compost out in my yard and I thought, what do zoos do with all that poo? Well, anything that we're curious about, we can learn more about. So that's my favorite thing about being a writer is learning and learning. Even though I'm a grandma now, I can still learn all kinds of things.
Yes, nonfiction books tell us about real things, like true events, real people, and, well, poo. I'm curious about that too, and I do enjoy a good compost. I love that it inspired one of your books. And I really like what you said. Anything we're curious about, we can learn about. So true. Speaking of nonfiction books, I really enjoyed your book, Clara the Triumphant Rhinoceros. Can you tell us about how you discovered the story and what made you want to tell it?
I learned about Clara from reading too. I just happened to read a book about her and I thought, oh my goodness, this Clara was taken when she was just little and moved to a whole different continent. Well, I moved to a whole different continent when I was little, and I thought, I wonder what it was like for Clara. Clara never got a chance to write a book, but we can still tell her story. And the great thing about Clara's story is that people were so afraid of a rhinoceros before Clara. And with Clara, they got to see that a rhinoceros was something magnificent and not something to be scared of.
Well, she is magnificent, and I think it's so great that you told her story. What's the best thing about writing a picture book?
Yeah, the best thing about writing picture books is that they have pictures. I got to imagine and read about Clara's life, and then the illustrator also got to read about Clara's life and got to think about how to tell the story through pictures.
Do you have any advice for someone out there that may want to be a writer like you?
My advice to anyone who wants to be a writer is to read a lot. Anything that you're curious about, you can learn about, and then you can also try writing about it. One of the other things that I love to write about is dinosaurs. That year when we visited America, we visited Dinosaur National Monument and camped there. So that's when I got intrigued with dinosaurs when I was in elementary school, and I still love learning about dinosaurs.
Oh, I love dinosaurs. Tell us more.
You know, these two guys were discovering dinosaur bones back when hardly anyone knew anything about dinosaurs. And they both wanted to be the ones that would discover all the bones and would get to name the dinosaurs. They got in such a fierce competition that they ruined their lives. But scientists have continued to learn more and more about dinosaurs. So we can learn more and more about dinosaurs too. And I have a couple of books about dinosaurs.
Oh, your dinosaur books look so good. I'm gonna put them up on the screen here for everybody to see. Can you describe your writing space and what tools you use?
The thing that I think about writing is that it doesn't really matter where you do it. I happen to write in a little apartment most of the time, but my apartment isn't fancy and my computer isn't fancy. What's fancy is what's up here in my head. All those words, all those thoughts, that's to me what it takes to be a good writer.
Well, we are just about out of time, I'm sorry to say. I know. But I have two final questions I always like to end the show with. Question number one. When you're not making books, what do you like to do?
Well, I have loved getting to meet you, Mr. Worm. As you already heard, I really like worms. My very favorite thing to do is to read, but my second favorite thing to do is to go out in my yard and work in the soil and play with my plants. So it's fun to think about kids reading books and also probably worms reading books.
I have loved meeting you. And this worm loves reading books. And I know the kids watching love reading too. Okay, question number two, and my last question. Where can we learn more about you and your books?
You can learn more about me on my webpage, which is just my name, janekurtz.com, or there's lots of different interviews with me that you can find out about. But the best way to learn more about me is to read my books.
Well, we sure will. And this has been so much fun getting to talk with you. Thank you so much, Jane Kurtz.
Thank you very much.
Well, my friends, that is our show for today. Thank you so much for watching. And remember, to learn more about Jane, you can visit her website. Let me put it up on the screen here: www.janekurtz.com. And be sure to go to your local library and check out all of Jane's amazing books. I know I can't wait to read Oh, Give Me a Home, the book based on her adventures traveling to Ethiopia when she was a little girl. And if you enjoyed this interview, please like and subscribe so you don't miss any future episodes. Remember, my friends, it's a good day to read a book. See you next time. Bye bye.